Google SEO has changed. The end of SEO. Rest in peace, Google. Videos about Google's demise are becoming more and more frequent, including on our channel. But what is the real story behind the death of SEO, even though Google searches have been increased recently by 21.64%? The truth is, SEO is not dead, but it's dangerously outdated. And most marketers and companies are not only playing by the old rules from 2010 to 2015, but have often also overlooked topics such as Topical Authority, EAT, and Generative Engine Optimization, short GEO. If you're also getting a stomach ache now because you're thinking, oh my god, I also don't understand any of these terms yet, don't worry, because we will explain all of this in today's video. Let's go. By the way, my name is Robert and I've been supporting B2B companies with professional search engine optimization since 2018. And if you also would like to generate more visitors and leads via your website, then get in touch with me at robertsieges.com for a free SEO potential analysis. Okay. For the record, the SEO rules of the game have fundamentally changed, and we have seen this clearly in the last few videos here as well on the channel. Let's talk about the Outdated Playbook first. The Outdated Playbook includes posting unstructured 1,000 to 3,000 word blog articles just stuffed with keywords, then focus exclusively on the biggest keywords, which most have the highest search volume in your niche, to build as much traffic as possible, and to only get do-follow backlinks from big media or just any backlinks from forums, etc. If you stay playing by those SEO rules from 2010 to 2015, this will have consequences for your organic visibility. Fewer clicks on your page in search results. What we also see is that zero-click searches are increasing. In 2024, 60% of all searches in Google were not leading to any click, and I believe that it's probably even higher now in 2025. Then search engines and AI search engines like ChatGPT Search, AI Overviews do not perceive you as a holistic topical authority on your topic, and you are not cited as a source in AI search engines and in AI overviews. Sounds bad? Yes, but it will get worse for you if you experience this now, because on a practical and business level, that means that you will be perceived less as a brand, you will drastically lose visibility, and you also, of course, then lose potential new customers to your competitors who actually optimize for generative engines. But luckily, there are the new rules that you can follow now, and these are building topical authority, actually not a new topic, but even more important now, let me explain in a bit. Build EEAT compliant content, also not new, but I will show you how that's implemented in today's world of AI and why that's important now, and to rely on generative engine optimization, short GEO. But let's dive into one after another. Let's start with topical authority. Topical authority or relevance refers to the trust or status that a website enjoys on a very specific topic in search engines. Thematic relevance is an indirect ranking factor for search engines like Google, and Search Engine Land, for example, lists the factor here in the area of website architecture. So structure websites for discovery and topical authority by interlinking topics and subtopics and optimizing around entities. That's based on entity or context-based search engines. And we see from my experience that search engines are developing in that direction, that they see context in different niches. So specifically, have you created a subpage for all your subtopics in your market that can be linked to each other? Ideally, you should also first create a keyword or cluster to map all your topics on your website. And that means mapping all the commercial topics as well as mapping all the informative topics and seeing which topic or which keyword has which search volume and which URL can be categorized to that topic. Conclusion is that your goal is to map out all the commercial, all the informative keywords in your niche with subpages, okay? As I just explained. An example here is not only mapping for performance pages, like saying you sell CNC milling services in Ottawa, then you of course build a site for CNC milling services, but build also a guide on the topic, can you also machine plastic or wood with the CNC milling machine? Because that's an informative keyword, and you see that if you do a keyword research or mapping. Let's talk about EEAT here. First introduced in the Google Quality Rater Guidelines in 2014 as EAT. So the EAT concept is more than 10 years old, but the concept was extended by another E in 2022. And EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. It is not an official ranking factor, but a measure for the evaluation of content in Google search from the user perspective. And we can see that here in the official Google Rater Guidelines. I just link you the whole article or the PDF below so you can check that out yourself. So expertise, trust, and authority were previously the focus, and now it's also about real experience. And this is a really good keyword because it makes so much sense when it comes to evaluating content published in the AI age. And I think Google didn't do that by accident just in 2022, right when ChatGPT was announced and became public. Because what AI can do, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, they can pretend real experience reports, but they can never actually produce them. Okay, so this is why we, for example, as an agency with our B2B SEO clients, we therefore also rely on the company's real case studies, and we include those case studies in the informative blog articles. And this way we create relevant, unique content that's pretty difficult or even nearly impossible to copy by a generative engine, like, for example, ChatGPT. And therefore we put a tick on the E for experience. Let's check out the next factor, the E for expertise. And this is about demonstrating your specialist knowledge. That means your articles should not just be thrown together ChatGPT tags, but you should present processes, technical data sheets, or also, for example, real industry expertise. And we can see that here. Let's say we have a technical data sheet. Don't just put your technical data in PDF sheets and offer them as a download, but also implement them directly into your website code, so search engines can actually read that. A client of us is also, for example, using videos to explain how their products work, how they're applied, or how you can clean them correctly. And that's pretty unique content that makes just a text-based article so much more valuable, especially in the age of AI, where you can just get text anywhere. Now, before we get to the A for authority here, let's talk about the T for trust. Trust means to communicate personality. So work, for example, with a personal contact person here with a picture on your website. Also, always communicate the author for your blog articles. When you work with the Google My Business or company profile, also fill out all information. Get verified with your Google company profile and also collect real reviews from real customers. All of that creates a lot of trust. And let's talk about the A for authority here. A page, a website has authority if it has a strong backlink profile. And that means do follow links from specialist and industry magazines, for example, but also entries in portals, in directories. And the more relevant, so the closer to your own topic and the more authoritative the specialist site itself is, the better for your own website authority. So let's go, get out there, search out trade and industry magazines and publish articles there that include links and mentions to your own site. But watch out, because this game is now changing somewhat with the introduction of generative artificial intelligence. So therefore, let's talk about GEO here. Generative Engine Optimization, GEO, is about preparing your own content and your own brand in such a way that it is played out in large language models, LLMs. So for example, ChatGPT, Perplexity, but also Google AI overviews. Now, when it comes to authority, it is assumed in the SEO scene that it is no longer just about backlinks, but also mentions play a major role here. In other words, being mentioned by name as a brand, the CEO, a manager, an employee, especially in specialist media and online magazines, in press releases, in social media, and so on. You don't always need a link, but you need to get mentioned. And for example, for us, it works quite well, because when I search in ChatGPT search that I'm looking for an agency specialized in B2B niches, focuses on SEO and Google Ads, we get mentioned here. I get mentioned, the website gets mentioned. We have a ton of resources that are linked here in ChatGPT search, so we are relevant and present in the large language model here. Another major factor when it comes to GEO is structuring of content. So large language models use so-called web crawlers to capture and understand content. And every crawl costs credits. So long content probably might not even get crawled to the end. So always ask yourself, when creating text content on your website, would AI overviews or ChatGPT quote it like this? We can check this out, for example, with this example search. When you search what is CNC milling, we get a, let's say, 100-word definition here. We get a detailed explanation how it works in 4 steps. We get key aspects of CNC milling, and everything is just explained in 1 or 2 sentences here. How you can transfer that to your content? Well, for example, use info boxes in the beginning of your articles, like we do, for example, in this B2B SEA article, like Google Ads, okay? We define the most important facts in a quick and precise way here, directly in the info box in the beginning of the article. So the conclusion is, the most important facts, put them in the beginning of your article. And the basic rule for GEO is to structure your data and your content as simply and clearly as possible. And now I'm curious about you. Are you already implementing those new rules to your SEO strategy? Leave me a comment below. And if you're looking for support and professional help to getting your SEO strategy ready for the age of AI, book a free consultation call at robertsiegers.com and we figure out what's the best start for you. I'm looking forward to hear from you in the call, or we see each other in the next video. Have a great day.